What's up, everyone? Independent Arms. I was laying there this morning, sleeping in a little bit, thinking, I think I'll make a video about how to get into making 80% lowers, because that's what I do. That's what I love doing. I've been doing it for years and years now, and I just want to show you guys the basics of what I use to do it with. And I'm not going to tell you how to do it, because I'm not allowed to do that. I've already got spanky for that, for just being really telling you the basics, but I'm going to do my best to kind of just do this kind of on the sly, you might want to say. But what even is 80% lower, guys? That would be this. That would be this. That would be taking something that looks like this. As you can see, this is an unfinished fire control group. It doesn't have any of the safety or fire control holes in it. And turning it into something like this, which used to be like this. Now, once it's like this, it's considered a gun by law, which is stupid. I don't know what right one man has to tell another man what he can and can't do, but here we are, right? So, moving on. Hey, Haji, how you doing, baby? You want to play ball? Here, go. So, what's a jig? Well, this is a jig. Oh, first of all, you need a jig to do 80% lower. This is a jig. This is the one of the more newer style jigs. This is the easy jig, Gen 3 or 4 version. I'm not sure which one it is, but it's one of their newer ones. And it's freaking super freaking awesome. It's very light compared to their Easy Jig 2. I have the Easy Jig 2 also, and this is all, these parts are all steel on the Jig 2, making it a very much heavier, but it's still quite a good jig, and I could still make some really nice lowers with it today. I just chose to buy this one because I wanted a new one. Really no other reason. And it is a little bit better design in some ways, but I wouldn't say it's faster at all. It's just maybe a little better in some ways. Let's just leave it at that. And basically all you do when you get this is you'll mount this, screw it together. It's real simple. You'll mount this baby in there, so it's sort of like so, and it's got a little buffer retaining type of screw. It's got a pin that goes in, and it basically just locks it in place, right? And then there's a little piece that screws in the top here, and you'll drill your pilot hole, which starts the whole thing off for you to make it possible to drop your end mill, which is in your router. It's an end mill bit. It's kind of a flat-ended cutting style bit. It's not like your regular drill bit, which is more pointy and it digs down, where this one cuts kind of sideways. Now they have end mill bits that are called upward or downward, but we won't get into all that. It's not this is very simple. You don't have to know much to be able to do this. If that was the case, I would have never figured it out. Trust me on that. Also, you can do, this is the 5.56, 223, I think even the 6mm R350 Legend version. It does several calibers. It's the standard one. But with these jigs, you can do 9mm, right? A 9mm. Take this 5-round magazine here. See, so that's a Glock pattern, 9mm, Colt style pattern, and you can do these. You can do 308s. I've done 308, 6.5 Creedmoor, which are all just basically 308, LR308 version, bigger caliber, which is a little bit bigger, lower than these. But these jigs still do those. So when you buy these, you're basically buying a jig to do every single caliber that you want. 45, 10mm, 9mm, etc. 308, 6.5 Creedmoor, 243. Okay, so you're just gonna need to get some bits to get going, simply. It's just 3 bits basically, and an end mill bit. Those packages are already put together for you at these websites, so you don't have to really know exactly which ones you need. But if you prefer to buy them separate and maybe save a couple bucks, you can, and just learn what they are from the website. Just go see you need so and so such size, and you need so and so such size. Hold on, my lights are going on. It's called motion lights, and they go off without motion. Sorry about that. So you need the jig, right? You need the bits. You can buy them in a package. That's what I did to start with the first couple years. And you're really not paying much more, and you are getting quality. You know, you're getting quality bits. So I recommend going that route, because they do give you good bits, because they want their product to work good, right? You're going to need a router. This part is where you have to, if you already have a router, they make it possible that you might already have the router you need. If you don't have a router, you just have to freaking pick one from their list. This one was 80 bucks, and I bought this 7 years ago. I'm still cutting lowers with it. And when I say I'm still cutting, I mean I'm cutting on a regular with it. And it works great. You know, this part right here comes with your jig. You'll have to screw it to the plate. It's not complicated, I promise you. Don't let that scare you. I want people to get into this, because this is a pastime. This is an American thing. And I think that every man, woman, whatever, but especially men, who should be taking care of their family and being prepared to rise up against a tyrannical government should the case be needed. Anyway, leave that alone. So, what else might you need besides a router? Just pick a router, and they'll tell you what end mill to get. So that does have something different to do with it. The end mill bit does have, you know, it has to go to certain routers. There's only 4 styles. Like I said, it's easy. It's easy, I promise. Don't let that scare you. Also, you're going to need, at the very least, one of these. Not necessarily battery powered. It can be electric. Probably better to be electric if you're going to use one of these, because they have more power. But to drill your pilot hole, which is where you're going to drop your end mill in, and also to drill your trigger pins and your safety hole out. Now, I've done it a few times using this. I recommend, if you can afford it, go ahead, and if you're going to get into this at all, you probably can, go ahead and get a drill press. It's going to be a lot better for you, and probably going to end up with better results, right? I have, originally when I started, I bought a really expensive Jet. I sold that. I've got a Harbor Freight 10-inch bench drill press. That's all you need, man. You're going to stick it up there for just a few minutes. You're going to drop some holes. It does great. You don't need the expensive stuff. Like this drill press, maybe 130 or 40 bucks, right? So it takes a few bucks to get into this, but it's going to save you money in the long run if you like buying rifles. And I like buying rifles too. I have a few serialized to begin with style parts or rifles, but once I started doing this, I loved it. And the reason I started doing this was because every time I would do a background check, they would put me on a wait, on a hold. And man, that used to make me so mad. It's embarrassing. And there's no reason for them to do it, but it's just our janky old government system sucks, man. And they don't care to fix it. And don't get me into that, because I got a million stories I could tell you of why I have a serious problem with our states and institutions. But real life stories. But I'm not going to get into it. But that's what started me on it, interested me in it. And the reason that is for you to buy this in the 80% lower form, you know, in the original form, there's no background check. There's no background check, and there shouldn't be. So, because all it is a hunk of metal, and if you have the wherewithal to be able to make that hunk of metal something else, then more power to you. That's the idea, right? God-given rights should not be messed with. That's what I think. And this is how I dress. You know, I get dirty during the day. When I get up in the morning and it's my weekend off, I put dirty clothes on because I'm probably going to do something that's going to make me dirty and ruin my clothes. So that's how you get me on these videos. I'm not going to be fake. I'm not an actor. I don't do 20 takes. I don't edit. I don't do anything. That's why my videos are so bad. So I apologize for that. But at the same time, you want to watch a person who is really telling you the truth, who is a real person. That's what you're going to get with me. Okay. What else might you need besides, you need the jig, you need the router, and you need the drill, and you need a bit. What else would you need? Well, you need this at the very least. You need this clamp. For one, you need this when you set this in your drill press or when you're drilling, because you need something to hold your jig, clamp it in there, holds the jig. And then what I do with this is whatever table, I just take these clamps, these auto clamping clamps, cheap, $6, clamp them to whatever I'm working, and it keeps it put for me, right? So also what you don't have to have, but I highly recommend, is a shop vac. Most people already have one, so it should be good. So the tube of the shop vac will lock into the back of the jig. Now when you're cutting, all those little pieces of metal will just go straight down into the vacuum cleaner. Bob's your uncle. You're gonna have to have some of this. WD-40 is not good. Don't use that. First of all, this is not more expensive than WD-40. Get you some cutting fluid, some real cutting fluid. This is all I've ever used. This is literally the first bottle I've ever bought. And I spilled this while it was still full and lost at least 30% of the fluid. You don't need that much, you guys. So $8 will buy you that. How much is WD-40? I don't know, but it's not the right thing to use. WD-40 is not a lubricant. WD-40 is a moisture remover, okay? Look it up. That's in the name, WD-40. Water dispersal, okay? So why that? Well, it's gonna your tools are gonna last forever, much longer. Your bits, your tooling. I have the original in-mill bits and still use them today. You may not believe that, but I do. They're still good. Haven't broke a tooth off of one, nothing. Granted, when I started, I very much took my time. I wasn't sure. I was unsure about myself, but you know what, guys? It's not that hard, you know what I'm saying? You get that router in your hand, you get a little, very slight downward force on it, and just kick it on, and just walk it. Circular motions. I don't do circular motions, but that's what they recommend. I do. I just mow the yard, baby. I go, and then I go back and make sure I didn't miss anything to clear it out nice, make it nice. You want to start out with small increments and go in depth. You know, they give you these little hashtags, but I said hashes right here to know how deeply to set your router bit. You know, each time you'll set it to the new hash mark. But after you do a few, you're going to get the hang of it, and you're going to do what I do. You're just going to unlock it, bump it, lock it, go. You're going to know what's too much and what's not enough, how far you can go with it. And then there's different bits where you can help you cut more, less. Speed matters on these. These are high speed ML bits. So, but like I said, this will do. This is your basic Nikita. It'll rock. It'll do great. What else you guys do need for this, right? I use a pedal. So I hook a foot pedal up in between the cord on this. And that way I leave this on all the time. And then I have a temporary pedal. That way when I want to start, I just press the pedal and it turns on the router. That way I have both hands on the router while I'm doing the work. And that's about it, you guys. $500 will get you into this. $500 of an investment will get you into doing this for years and years. And you can buy these 80% lowers, no background checks, no FFL, straight to your door, as God intended it. And that's the way I do it, because that's the way I like to do it. I don't like going to paying extra, and I can build any kind of rifle I want. Every one of them is unique. Every one of them. Or I can build a clone, or I can build a rifle out exactly like Daniel Defense, because that's what I'm working on right now. I'm building a Daniel Defense out of nothing but Daniel Defense parts, down to the T of how they do it, torque specs, everything. It's very simple. Once you learn a little bit of this, it's much more simple than you might have thought it was. I have not even picked out I might use this on my Daniel Defense, but of course I'm gonna have to change this to a Daniel Defense. I'm not gonna use the Daniel Defense mil spec trigger. So, I mean, when I say Daniel Defense, I don't know. But I might cut another one. I might cut an ambi lower. There are ambi lowers, you know what I'm saying? Here's one I did recently with the ambi lower, 80% ambi lower. And I hope I'm in the right place. I'm not doing this again. You see, not bad looking at all, right? I'm not gonna get into brands and stuff, but there's options. And this is a Geisley. The barrel's a Coherent Forge F&M, but it's a Geisley handguard, Geisley trigger. I think that's about it. Geisley, that's an Expo Arms Chrome Bow carrier. That's a Geisley Airborne, right? Radiant Raptor paddle. You know, you can build whatever you want though. You can't buy this, but you can build it. That's what's cool, right? So you don't have to build guns like this, you guys. They don't have to be this fancy, but this is just how I build them now, right? I like to build them this way because I'm blessed and I'm able to do that. So I do. And here's one of my first ones I built. I changed the stock. It's not the original stock from the first one, but it was. But this is a 14.5, you guys, H-bar style. It's actually SOCOM, but real SOCOM, 14.5, so it's a little fatter back here. But it's got the grenade launcher cuts in it, and it's got a pin and welded muzzle device to make it legal, because you still have to be legal doing this. I mean, that's the thing about people that do these. We follow the laws. They start screwing people like us and taking this away like they try to do. It's only going to be people that follow the law that they're hurting. They're not going to be hurting like no hood rats or no YNs, okay? They're only going to hurt people that follow the law, the letter of the law. And those are the people that they're actually worried about, right? The people that are doing all that other crap are controlled people. They control these idiots. So they got them. They can get them to act however they want, basically, with their emotions. But check this out, dude. This is a sweet find I got on Gunbroker. It's a Yankee Hill Machines handguard. It's just a beautiful. It feels freaking beautiful. It's got proprietary screw-in Picatinny rails if you want them, but I like it like it is. I'm not adding anything to it. It's just a bad boy rifle right here. I just love it. It's got a mil-spec Gary handle on it, and it's got a little square on it. But I have some pretty cool. Got a pretty much of a collection of mil-spec carry handles, A2 carry handles, and got them all. You know, the cardinals, keyholes, the squares. I got a bunch of them, man. I built a lot of these carry handle rifles because I dig them. Right? You can build something like this for starting up. This was already a complete upper from Arrow I bought. Complete upper, 16-inch, and just 80% lower. Basic, 80% lower. You can see they don't have no safety. No, they do on this side, but not that side. I keep my guns out of battery, so they always look like they're on fire. But that's because I just like to keep the hammer up and there's not so much tension on the spring. That's all it is, really. This is a 223 Wild. That's why I got the little 223 AR Bushnell 1 and 4 on it, which are pretty good little scopes, actually, believe it or not. This is one of the first scopes I bought a long time ago. One of them. Got a little cutie, you know. You can find these things cheap every now and then, and that's what's fun about building these, is the hunt, the weight, the hunt, you know, finding the parts at the right price. Now, you might want to get into something like CNC and like ghost gunner machines. I have nothing against that. That is a cool thing. Maybe one day I'll do that when I'm not able to do this anymore. But I like the hands-on kind of thing. That might sound strange, but I enjoy doing it. More me input into it than a computer, which is just nothing wrong with it. Like, here's a 9 I made a long time ago. A little 5.5-inch barrel on it. A little pistol. As you can see, it's got the stealth recoil spring in it. This thing's so fun to shoot. It's like every time you shoot it, sounds like you're hitting a barrel, like a whiskey barrel. I don't know, sound crazy, huh? But you can build anything. I got 6.5 Creedmoor. I got 308, guys. Same jig, different calibers. You know, it's like a smorgasbord. Another little Geisley project I did with this. Originally it was a different lower, but got a little Hyperfire trigger in it for fun because I never had one of those. You know, got the MK14 handguard, the crazy anodized green. Got the green triangle AccuPoint. Anyway, this ain't about the rifles, but this is what you can do with 80% lowers, you guys. You can build whatever you want. Here's one that came raw, like some of those do. This came like this, and I just did a little treatment to it with some muriatic acid to kind of dull it down like that. And boom, boom, baby. Got a Criterion barrel in it and a Centurion upper. Fun little rifle to shoot for sure, for sure. I'm trying to give a different example that you don't have to go balls to the walls with, you know, these crazy. Here you go, guys. This is another complete upper that I did early on with 80% lower. And I mean, like $500 or $600 put you into that rifle. So I don't know if that does anything for you, but also you don't have to go through all the hassle of a background check. You may disagree with that, and you have the right to disagree, but you're wrong. So that's all there is to that. So if you guys have any other questions that I missed, and I know I did, I'm a dummy. I'm a dumb guy. I have a bad memory. I'm 47, so it's only gotten worse. I did a lot of drugs as a young man, and I regret that now. So kids, please stop doing drugs. Find your Lord Jesus Christ, and He will help you with that, as He did me 5 years ago. And I give Him all the glory and praise for that. And you can have that too. You can have life more abundantly now, in this life. We're not talking about money, cars, and women, you guys. We're talking about life, peace, actual peace. That's life. When all that other stuff doesn't matter, that's real life, okay? God will add unto these things unto you. Seek God first, okay, guys? Love you. Independent arms. Yeah, out of here.